What's going on? We're live. Oh. There we go. Why is it doing this? Drag. There we go. What's going on? Samuel Wilkinson. What's poppin'? Skull Day? What's going on? Yo. Joshua, what's going on? Kyle, what's going on? Your AI started drinking. All right, cool. Well, look at that. Thanks for the heads up. Well, look at that. Thanks for the heads up. We will go over that model if it is on something. Euro AI has been one of our better models this winter, though, so maybe it's not. Just Bev, NTX, Gavin, Young, Neuro, what's cracking? Pay, what's cracking? What's popping? All right. Let me get on a little bit of a satellite loop here. Maybe I'll go to a model. Let's take a look. What's our Rufus showing out here? Rufus A. We'll go Rufus A. The 00Z of the Rufus is out. Precipitation type. Let's take a look at reflectivity here. It's going to give us 86 hours. There it is. Significant severe weather, potentially for the south. Nice QLCS. Heavy snow moving into the west. I'll keep that running for people who are on TikTok so they can see what's coming up here. All right. Yeah, for those of you on TikTok, that's what's coming up there. Next 86 hours. All right, what's going on, everyone? I'm gonna let some people hop in here, and then we're gonna start the stream. We got some severe weather ahead of us. What you're looking at right now is what the GFS thinks for the next, 12 days. More snow to the mid-Atlantic, maybe. It's possible. I think that's probably at the end of this run. Hey, isn't that funny? Hey, Santino, were you in the last stream when I said, I didn't just say the 20th, the last week of February, the 20th to the 25th. I'm pretty sure I said the 23rd. All right, let's watch this. I'm not convinced that this is going to happen on the 23rd. I'm actually fully convinced it's not. Something like it may happen. Could be farther south, could be farther north. It could be right through what we see. But 23rd, I like that time. Transitioning back into cold air out east. I want people to understand. I said I don't just look at the Euro or the best model and say, it says as it gets out towards the 22nd, we're going to get another heat wave out east. That's exactly what the Euro said. And I disagreed. I said, I don't think so. There's a bunch of reasons. Why? What's going on with our tropospheric polar vortex in the ensembles and our stratospheric polar vortex in the ensembles. Take a look at our teleconnections. Our analogs are important, and models, control models and operational runs don't take that into account. There's too much weighing against our control run of the Euro for me to believe that we were going to get another big heat wave around the 22nd, 23rd. Could we still? Yes, we could still, and I could still be wrong. But I have a good track record this winter with calling the Euro out when it's wrong. I think this was another good call, but again, we don't know yet. We're still talking over 200 hours out. There's a possibility that this trough, this amplified trough that digs down before this ridge behind it, doesn't actually dig that far south, and we just get more heat. Now, again, I explained this last live, but snow might not even be fun snow because you get an immediate warm up after it, and it gets real messy. Santino, I appreciate that $5 super chat. You're incredible. I appreciate all the support. I appreciate that. Seriously, I always appreciate it. You said yesterday that the 22nd, 23rd potential big storm. I'm your lawyer, Kyle. Gen X, what's going on? Jasmine, what's going on? Upcoming storm, New England snowstorm. Yeah. Your guys' winter isn't done yet. Don't let this fall spring fool you. Don't let the fall spring fool you. All right. By the way, what's going on? What's going on down here? You guys ready for a taste of your Enzo neutral spring? Enzo neutral springs are extremely volatile for severe weather. Tornadoes, hail, wind. Santino with another $2 super chat. Thinking that the date for another mid-Atlantic storm. Could be. I think you guys get one more before it's all said and done. I really do believe that. I'm not just saying that to try to make you happy. I actually do believe it. A lot of my belief in that has to do with strong analogs we're looking at, but also the stratospheric polar vortex collapse. What's happening with our winds up there as we move through February? We're going to see that cold air move down into the mid latitudes. Sadie, what's popping? Yeah, this is as we get into. Let's take a look at the timeline here. All right, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Get a little bit of an interesting vortex happening here. Take a look at this. Right? We're talking tomorrow. Right? This is tomorrow night. Tomorrow night into Saturday morning. Right there. All right, now let's push into Saturday afternoon. This is when things get spicy right here. You've got a leading squall line. You've got kind of a split QLCS here. Kind of a leading frontal boundary. Wait, stop. Delete my writing. Thank you. Okay. This is when things get spicy. We're talking around, we'll say, give or take 5 to 8 p.m. Saturday evening out here. We'll see. I think this doesn't develop until it's east of Dallas. I believe that. But Eastern Texas, Shreveport, Texarkana, Houston, Beaumont. Let's zoom in here. Tyler, Bryan, Austin, San Antonio. You might want to watch out for this. You might want to be paying attention to this Saturday evening. Now, here's what you got going for you. There's a lot of precipitation falling. There's a lot of precipitation falling before that QLCS, quasi-linear convective system, forms. And you know what a lot of rainfall does before severe weather moves in? Chat, go. You know the answer. Is it good? What does it do? What does heavy rain do to your severe weather chances if it's ahead of your severe weather? Flooding, instability. It ruins your instability. Rain, cooled air. Rain, cooled air. We need heat at the surface. We need heat. We want moisture to rise. We need heat. You get a lot of thunder showers, not thunderstorms, thunder showers before your strong QLCS forms, that really unstable line of thunderstorms with strong shear, and there will be strong shear, that's going to get itself together. Well, then it's going to push into some areas with very, very rain-cooled air. It's going to rain. The atmosphere is going to cool. And that's why, and we might get a slight out of this. I still think we might get a slight out of this Saturday. But that's why you see this impressive QLCS, right? This looks severe, let's be honest. That looks severe. The problem is it's moving into stable air. So, yeah, marginal. 1 out of 5 risk. I think we probably will go slight, but a minor slight. Just based off of how much moisture, how much rainfall we could get ahead of this QLCS forming. Not the most threatening thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Now, areas in Louisiana, interesting. Areas that maybe don't see some of these scattered showers. If we get some dry pockets in Louisiana, you can see it's a little bit dry. Eastern Texas gets poured on, potentially. Louisiana tries to stay dry. Maybe this is the spot to watch right here. Central to southern Arkansas through central Louisiana. Eastern Texas might be saved by some heavy rainfall before this thing goes severe. But it's interesting, and it's our first kind of, you can call it fun, not fun, whatever you want, First kind of early look at spring. Look at this thing as it moves off to the east as well. That's a tight squall line, tight QLCS. So let's watch out as we get into Sunday as well. Here's Sunday. Sunday night into Monday morning. Could get the severe weather out there through Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, maybe even Florida as well. There it is. All right, that's what's going on with the severe weather. Pay attention. I'm going to be updating you guys. I'll be putting these videos out. Probably live streaming the severe weather event as well. Not probably, I will be. As much as I can, you know. As much as I can. 6 to 10 day. I'm going to get to all your questions in a second. 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. Yes, I agree. 8 to 14 day temperature outlook. Let's cut the heat off right there. All right. 3 to 4 week temperature outlook. Sure. It might be cooler down here. All right. Before we get back to everything we're talking about here, let me put the Rufus back on so you guys can stare at this. On the TikTok side of things. Give me a second. All right. Really quickly, the latest from the GFS, and I'll get to your questions. Here we go. Look at that. I've told you guys, this thing keeps playing. Does it want snow or does it not want snow? The models can't decide the surface temperatures here. We don't have a warm nose. It's all about surface temperatures. Do we get snow? Do we not get snow this weekend through portions of the mid-Atlantic? We'll see. It's going to be close call. It's going to be a close call. Pushing into early next week, heavy snow for the Rockies. There's no avoiding this, okay? So if you're out there in Utah, Colorado, Wyoming, New Mexico, Arizona, in the mountainous areas and you want snow, you're probably going to get it. If you don't want snow, you're probably going to get it. All right? Cascades, Sierra Nevada, Northern Rockies. Interesting. This was a chance for some heavy snow up through portions of, well, this is still going to be heavy snow for North Dakota. Could have gone down to Nebraska, South Dakota, Iowa, Minnesota. This has been trending north. This is a GFS. Some trailing cold air brings snow through that region after. Still a question on this. The GFS had a big snowstorm through this region. Last run, the 12Z, getting a little bit weaker, but still Northern Plains, Rockies, Northern Plains, Upper Midwest seems to be a target for snow. Pacific Northwest here in the short to midterm. What a trough here. You can actually see the negative tilt on the future reflectivity. You can see, look at this. Look at it. Look at it. Look, there's the mini negative tilt. Look at it. Terry, I appreciate the sub. There's the mini negative tilt. There it is. Nor'easter. Nor'easter, end of February. Is it going to happen? No one knows. Not even God himself. No one knows. But is there a pattern for it? Yes, 100%. We'll be watching this for... This isn't going to drop off the models tomorrow. We'll be watching this for a little bit. All right, there you go. There you go. European, last thing. Here we go. European 10-day temperature anomalies. Kind of hot. Taking a look at our latest analogs. Well, cool down begins as we get out towards... Well, would you look at that? February 23rd. So 26. Collapsing ridge. Average to below average air begins to push back out towards, it's going to begin to collapse out towards the Ohio Valley and the East Coast. Cool end of February. Cool start to March, I think, for a lot of us across the states. And get ready for that stratospheric polar vortex Arctic blast to begin pushing our polar jet south as we move through the first week of March. I suspect it's first half of March. The first 2 weeks is going to be very cold. We're going to see some big snowstorms. And then severe season is going to be cranking as we get towards the end of March, fourth week of March. Was that my dog? All right. What's going on? Let's talk. Oh, you know what we got to do? It's time to take questions. I'm going to answer as many questions as I can. I'm going to watch, but you guys know. You guys know. Oh, wait, wrong one. We got to run the intro. Ow. Take it to the bank, cash it. I'm always right. I've never been wrong about anything in my entire life. Everything I've ever said has come true.
We look a lot at the moon.
There it is. They look at the moon for our winter forecast. we've had 4 or 5 wiener wrist zones this week. We'll do it live. We'll do it live. Daddy needs some coffee.
Bob donated $1,000 and says, Connor, you are the best weatherman, and you're very tall, smart, and handsome.
Thanks, Bob. Bob is always extremely generous. Okay. Sorry. Boone, North Carolina. How do we look for a snow? Well, listen. 4th week of February. You're going to get your chance there. We don't have the 0-0Z out of the Euro yet, but we do have our little baby 18Z that's going to push us out towards the 18th. Look at that. Look at that. GFS and the Euro in agreement about 3 days out, 72 to 80 hours. We're going to get a little snowfall there in northern Maryland, a little bit in PA and New Jersey. I don't know. What do you guys think? Twins fan now with them shades. Hey, buddy. What's going on, Matt? Yes, thank you, Purple. If you live in a small town or smaller city, please give a quadrant of your state or direction from a known city. Exactly. We're actually, I'm going to answer some questions. Hold off from the speed round yet, but I'm going to answer some questions. Again, if you live in a small city or a small county that I'm not going to know of, just tell me how far north, south, east, or west you live in a major city, or if you live in like the southeast, southwest, central, south central, north central. Tell me where you live in the state. If I'm not going to know your city or county, give me a good way of knowing where you are without having to spend a bunch of time looking up where it is. All right. 60 plus degrees for us next week in Kentucky. Potentially. Let's look at our temperature anomalies. That looks pretty hot there for you, Sadie. That looks pretty hot there for you. 20 to 30 degrees above average. What's the 12Z of the Euro say? Yeah, there you go. Looks pretty dang hot. Yay. Yeah. I've seen all these memes of people out east being like, why won't the snow melt? Which is funny because for the last 10 years, or for the last 6 years straight, you've been like, why won't the snow fall? Boone, North Carolina, how do we look for snow? Oh, yeah, I answered. Yeah. Last week of February, you guys are going to get some good chances. That's right. I know where Boone is. I lived in Charlotte for 4 years. Went to Boone a couple times. Got an Airbnb there once with my friends. It was a good time. I know where Boone is. Right up here. What's the mountain up there? Beach Mountain or something, right? Silly name for a ski resort, Beach Mountain or something like that. Let's see. What about East Louisiana? I'm guessing you meant Louisiana. It's okay. Phone corrections, I know. Which is okay, no, now you're doing it. Now you're doing it on purpose. About the severe weather. No, you're doing it on purpose. No, yeah, Louisiana. Let's take a look at your severe weather potential. Let's go back to the Rufus here. Since you're asking about it. Let's get back into it. Let me turn this music down just a tad bit. Let's take a look. Let's go to the Rufus model and let's go into No, let's go to simulate it. There you go. All right. South Central. Here we go, Louisiana. Get the stations out of there. Here we go. Could start getting spicy. Let's say around 7 to 10 p.m. Saturday. 7 to 10 p.m. Saturday evening. Now listen, if you don't get a tornado or hail out of this, you're going to get some strong winds and some torrential downpours out of this. You're guaranteed to get a little bit of thunder, a little bit of lightning, and some heavy rainfall. So if you've missed severe weather, some people miss it, some people don't want it to come back. You're going to get some sort of severe weather. Again, you're going to get a lot of rain-cooled air out ahead of this. Does it happen in Louisiana? We'll see. Our HRRR is going to load into this area tomorrow morning. Our actual, 2K 48-hour short-range model. But Looks pretty spicy for Louisiana. Nothing crazy. I'm not expecting a big tornado outbreak, massive hail, whatever. But could we get a couple spin ups? It's possible. Damaging winds is possible. Some small to medium hail is possible. Torrential downpours is likely. Let's take a look at our wind gusts here. Let's take a look. Surface wind. Kilometers. What the? Get out of here. No one knows what that is. All right. Not even showing that strong wind gusts here. I guess this would be sustained. This would be 10 meters sustained winds. So we're looking at 22, 21. I want gusts. Let me push over to Pivotal real quick. Really quickly, let's take a look. Actually, is our HRRR 00Z, where does that take us? Let's go to wind gusts. Yeah, let's go here. 1 second, guys. There we go. Let's take a look at this first. Wait, is this? Hello? There you go. That's how it's supposed to look. All right, HRRR is not quite there yet. Let's go to the Rufus on here for Texas, Louisiana. Let's take a look at our wind gusts on here. Is it going to give us? Yeah, there we go. All right, not bad. Casual 65-mile-per-hour wind gust. Tropical storm to hurricane force wind gust to central Texas as we get into Saturday morning. All right, here we go. Transitioning out to the east. You can see the potential. There's a 60-mile-per-hour wind gust through west central Louisiana. There you go. Northeastern Louisiana, 60-mile-per-hour gust. So, yeah, I can see why they're trying to keep this marginal on the wind as well. 63, 65-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Nothing too crazy. The biggest issue with this severe weather event, guys, is the instability, and that has to do with the rain cooled air out ahead of this. So, instability, surface-based cape. I really don't care about most unstable cape. Surface-based cape. Look at this instability just get crushed. It's building, ready? It's starting to build out here. But what's happening? Why are these colors starting to fade? It's because it's raining right here. It's raining. There goes your instability. Gone, right? Look, instability is growing along the QLCS, along that squall line. Sorry. But we're having downpours out here. There's no instability if your air is cooled. It's not happening. So, but what happens sometimes with these severe weather events is models don't understand what's happening with the moisture ahead of the system. It's a little bit confusing, and you don't get a ton of rainfall ahead of the system, and suddenly, instead of having fading instability in this region, you get an explosion of instability. So it's why you got to pay attention as we get closer, especially as we get into the last 24 hours, 12 hours leading into the severe weather event. Some nice instability out there. Let's take the last thing, and I'm going to get into all the other questions. Sorry, I haven't talked about severe weather in a while. Okay, I'm excited. SIGTOR params. We'll talk about temperatures. Someone said when it's going to turn cold again. You still got some decent SIGTOR params out here. Take a look at this. Eastern Texas, Western Louisiana. 2.0 SIGTOR param. Not too bad. TOR possible hazard type. Your hodograph looks okay. Some decent rotational shear and velocity shear as well. SIN, -70. Inhibition. That's not going to help you. 700 surface cape. 700 joules per kilogram. That's not going to do anything for you. So not a crazy severe event, but we're probably going to get a couple of tornadoes. We probably will get a couple of tornadoes. I would say not long track tornadoes, nothing strong. Probably going to get some hail, probably going to get some wind. Anyways, that's what's going on with the severe weather. Let's get back to it. And now let me try to answer questions a lot more quicker. I just wanted to actually go into that in a little bit more depth. Okay. Will Central New Jersey get 3 to 5 inches Sunday night if everything lines up right? You could get more than that. You get 6+ inches. You get 8+ inches if everything lines up right. Yeah, I would say 3 to 5 inches is a more realistic thing to hope for. Maybe you got a 10 to 15% chance of that happening. Yeah. I'd expect mixing and a dusting right now. And I could be wrong, but I expect mixing to a dusting, maybe an inch max through New Jersey right now. There is a scenario that plays out where, yeah, the models are still off by a couple degrees and you guys end up with like 6+ inches. There's a weird scenario that plays out like that. I was looking at the members again. We can look at the members again. Look at this. The panels. Show the members. Here's our snow event. Let's actually go up to the Mid-Atlantic so you guys can see this. Here we go. We're in the Mid-Atlantic. Here we go. Here's all our different models. This is still one of the members on the Euro. What does it show? Well, a foot of snow for New York City, all of New Jersey, Long Island, and Philadelphia. Is that going to happen? What does this one show? Tons of snow for Virginia, Baltimore, D.C. What does this one show? Tons of snow for Philly, New York City, Jersey. What does this one show? Tons of snow for Baltimore, D.C., Philly, New York City, Jersey. Same Z's. I mean, you know, more don't show it than do show it. But I'm not going to lie, a surprising amount still give you guys a chance for like heavy snow. Like, right? Like, look at this. Jersey. Again, this is Philly, Jersey, New York City. Some of these even include Baltimore, D.C. Look at this. Like, I'm shocked by how many models. This one shows like 30 inches of snow in southern Jersey on Sunday. What is that member doing? I mean, the surface temperature would have to be off by like 7 degrees. And we're 72 hours out. All I'm saying is, you see all the time, this isn't 1 or 2 out of 50 members. We're talking about 10 to 12 out of 50 members. Why is there... That's a way too significant amount of confidence that our operational run is wrong. That this run right here is wrong. These models are saying, no. We actually got snow down here. And instead of having 1/2 inch an hour snow here, we have 1.5 inch an hour snow here. I don't know. Have the temperatures come down on the latest Euro? Let's look at this together. Let's look at this together as the storm's moving through. Oh. Hold up. Hold up. Everything above that line is freezing now. Everything above that line in yesterday's model was about 36, 34 to 37 degrees. It's all below freezing now. Who was in my stream yesterday when I said that models F up the temperature all the time when you're still at least 100 hours out? Why? The surface temperatures, I said, if in some crazy world, if the surface temperatures tomorrow drop by like 4 degrees, we could end up having a big snowstorm up here. Who was in here? Yep. There we go. Me. Yeah. I was there. I forgive you, Yaya. You just got to take my word for it. Justin, tell her I said that. I'm just kidding. Wow. Well, there you go. The temperatures dropped 4 degrees. Surface temperature dropped 4 degrees on the latest Euro. Didn't expect that to happen. I told you guys that there was a chance it would happen, but the chance is different. The chance doesn't mean I expected it to happen. But there you go. Like I said yesterday, I've seen it happen enough times that you always have to pay attention. The issue with snow falling here isn't going to be warm air aloft. It's going to be surface temperatures. Warm air aloft, if there was a nose on this, would probably trend north. We're not worried about warm air aloft. We're watching surface temperatures, and there you go. They ticked 4 degrees down about in this region. We were looking at 34, 35, 36, 37 degrees through this entire area right here. Now we're all below freezing. Interesting. The NAM. As much as I don't love the NAM, let's go to the NAM 12 kilometer and see what we see here too. Wow. below freezing north of that line. Pretty much. Not even. I mean, you have Philly below freezing, too. Remember, you could snow at 36 degrees as well, but it just might not stick as well. Hey, Mesomat, what's going on? If you guys don't follow Mesomat, please follow him. Do it for me. He is the #1 severe weather source for spring. He's awesome. He is awesome. Mesomat, MESOMATT, not miso, soup, meso, cycle, mesocyclone. Mesomat. Matt, I appreciate you. Thanks for hopping on the stream. Matt, well, I was talking to my stream yesterday, and all these temperatures in here were 34 to 37 degrees. And we talked about it. We said, hey, there's a chance we're 100 hours out. The surface temperatures are off by 3, 4, 5 degrees. Maybe you get a big snowstorm up here. They dropped. They all dropped below freezing on the Euro, on the NAM. I think on the GFS as well. It shows snow through here as well. And the way this system's moving, Matt, back me up. This isn't like a warm nose type system. This is kind of a clipper through here. So you're not going to have, you don't have like a deepening low that's pulling warm air up into the mid-Atlantic here. You just have your cold air collapsing into warm moisture from the south. So if your surface temperatures are cold enough, you get snow. Yeah. This isn't cutting up the coast. You're not going to have that warm nose issue. Crazy. Yeah, Matt, I was showing him this too. The ensemble, the panels on this are wild. Mid-Atlantic. Like, what is going on? Why do we have panels 72 hours out showing 2 feet of snow in Jersey, Philadelphia, New York, a foot of snow? Look at all these. This is crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. You've got 13 out of 50 models. I'd expect it to be, like I said, 1 or 2 that think you could end up with a foot of snow from this system. Weird. If the temperatures continue to trend down at the surface, even just another degree or 2, you could end up with, I don't think you're going to get a foot of snow like some of these European runs think, but someone could end up with like a freaky 6+ inches of snow. If the temperatures continue to trend down, there's always a chance that they shoot back up a degree or 2 and you guys get a bunch of rain and then you yell at me on Monday. But I can take it. You can yell at me. Jed. B, Squishy, I appreciate you guys. Yeah, Matt, look, we got the latest Rufus running on weather-wise. Looks beautiful on there. Another thing we talked about, and you know it too, Matt. The reason why I think there's a possibility we get a slight out here in Louisiana, Eastern Texas, but there you go. Matt knows severe weather well. Lots of rain, cooled air before our QLCS ever gets started. You could be raining for a couple hours before our QLCS, before we get a squall line, a nice squall line forming. And what happens? Well, all our instability drops off a cliff out here because it's been raining for hours before we ever get any sort of system moving through, any sort of strong, any sort of decent shear moving through, or squall line moving through. So shouldn't be too bad. All right. I think we need to go into a speed round. I need to answer as many questions as possible. Will Maryland get any more snow? I think so. Before the season's over, yes. Get Weather Bell. Get Weather Bell. Get Weather Bell. It's so pretty. He said, I'm getting Weather Bell tomorrow. Look at the Rufus on here. Look at the Rufus on here, Matt. Look at this. Just look at this. Beautiful. There's a lot, even for severe weather, I actually like it. Supercell composites. It's pretty clean. Sigtor. It's a pretty clean look. Our shear. K-index. Decent K-indexes out here in Eastern Texas, I'm not going to lie. Getting upwards of 40 to 45 potentially. Look at that. Yeah, it's so clean. It's so clean, dude. So clean. All right. Because I've only ever used it really for winter, but I'll probably start using it for severe weather season. Any surprise for Massachusetts? You guys are going to get more snow up there in Massachusetts before the season's done, I believe. East Coast has another big push of winter coming. Another big push of winter coming. I just showed... well, I'm not going to pull it up again, but we just went over the analogs. Analogs like a lot of cold air and snow back into the east at the end of February, beginning of March. And I've been saying that since like February 2nd. This isn't new news. We still like it. We still like it. I appreciate the follow. Agaban. Appreciate that. I think I said it right. You think Royal Virginia gets big snow before winter is over? I don't know where Royal Virginia is. Whoa. What did I just do? Royal Virginia. Possibly. Yeah, possibly. You're going to have cold enough air and you're going to have moisture available. You just need a good storm track. Possibly. Yep. The snow is fun while it lasted, but it can go now. Sorry. I hope you get more snow. Euro AI. Oh, yeah. We're supposed to look at the Euro AI. So what's going on? What's going on with the Euro AI? Why is it tripping? What's happening? Of course. Of course. Of course. Oh my God, that February 23rd mark I told you guys about. Oh my God. I swear. All I need to do is say something. I love it. Look at the Euro as we get into February 23rd. Snow in the mid-Atlantic out towards the 24th. I hope this happens. Again, if I predict something's going to happen and then the models start to show it, I just want it to happen because I'm selfish. No, yeah. European AI likes something out there around the 23rd. So does the GFS in Europe, in European. But we can't have confidence in something 250 plus hours out, guys. You know we can't. Again, though, love the pattern. Love the pattern for cold air and snow returning to the east. And Ohio Valley. Maybe the southeast. Ohio Valley, Mid-Atlantic, New England. I like that pattern. End of February. Last week of February. I do like that pattern. Look at that. Look at that. What's our troughing doing? Ooh. Yeah. That'd be spicy. This would be some significant severe weather potentially as well. Tennessee, Kentucky, maybe. Yep. Seattle snow. Oh, man. I mean, you got some very cold air moving in this week. Or as we move through this weekend into next week. You're troughing. There you go. You guys have just had very, very bad luck lately. But take a look at our temperature anomalies. If you're going to get snow into Seattle, you need your temperatures to be 20 to 30 degrees below average. And guess what's happening up here in the Pacific Northwest? As we get into Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. We'll see. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday coming up. Maybe. If you get a little precipitation there, your temperatures could be cool enough to get a little bit of snow down in Seattle. Could be. Could some of this be low elevation snow? 100%. Models still like low elevation rain, but it's possible with those. It's possible with those temperature anomalies there. 100%. Rockville, Maryland. Again, I like the Mid-Atlantic still for more snow this year. Before it's all said and done. Same with Jersey. Is New Jersey getting a foot of snow? I told you guys it was like very unlikely yesterday. I'm going to move it from very unlikely to unlikely. It's no longer very unlikely you're going to get a foot of snow in New Jersey on Sunday, Saturday and Sunday. It's just unlikely. That's a step up from very unlikely, though. Extremely severely confused blonde. What's going on? Lamona, what's poppin'? Missouri snow? I don't know if I see a pattern for snow through the central to southern plains region right now, but we're going to get this Bear Clinic boundary set up here early next week where we're going to try to get a snowstorm through here, and then it's going to flip as we get into the end of February, and it's going to come through here. If this flip is a little off kilter here, not where we expect it, you could end up you could end up with the storm track as we push into the end of the third week of February through here. 17th to the 20th. You could end up with a snowstorm through Missouri, but I don't really see any of our models pointing at that. Nice little zonal flow here through the plains. Right? Like this whole setup, this is only, and I say only because it's not 370 hours out, but 200 hours out on the Euro. You probably get a surface low surface low upper level low forming here, moving through Missouri potentially on the Euro. Doesn't show much, but we do see is significant severe weather here as we get into next weekend. Snow to the north. If this amplifies a little bit more, you could end up with a big snowstorm right through here. So the only reason I tell you this, and this is a big if, there's sometimes it's easy to look at an area and say you probably have no chance of getting snow in the next couple of weeks. There's a pattern that could put snow through Kansas, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, Ohio here next weekend. So, that pattern's there. I mean, we had patterns for the last 2 months straight. I mean, how many times did I say I don't even think the West is going to get snow for the next 3 weeks, and they didn't, because there's just such a obnoxiously positive PNA, and you could just see that it was going to hold. There's a chance here. There's a setup here where you get snow through portions of the Midwest and Central Plains there, yeah, next weekend. Sorry. What'd you say? I think I missed it. Alrighty, let's see. Yep, fall spring. That's right, fall spring. Don't believe it. My sister in Utah said she needs snow for her birthday, February 26th. Well, hey, the Euro gives her heavy snow February 26th. Unfortunately, it's 336 hours out. I'm not so sure about that. I will tell you this. If I'm the one guessing what's going to happen February 26th, I'm guessing we're going to have a ridge out west again. I think positive PNA grows, but I've been wrong before, and I'll be wrong again. Wait, whoa. Just kidding. I've never been wrong, and I will never be wrong. I'm moving to a new planet. Kentucky bipolar weather is not for the weak. Facts. Kentucky's pretty crazy. I was talking to Matt today because he lives in Kentucky, and I said, it's funny because it's a La Nina winter, and I said, hey, it's a La Nina winter. You could get some good snow. But then I thought about it. I was like, anyone in this area, not even that. Let's call anyone in this area could have big winters during La Nina and big winters during El Nino. You really don't know. Very hard area to predict. Most of the country's in a drought. But, yeah, if you're west of this line, you're in a severe drought. Agreed. The Rockies are suffocating. I think I pulled that up earlier, too. Let's see. Climate Reanalyzer. No. I actually didn't want that. I lied to you guys. I'm sorry for lying to you. Climate map. Let's take a look at our precipitation. Wait. Departure from normal precipitation. Last 30 days. Oh, last 60 days pretty bad down there. God, the whole country's struggling right now. Although this is, you're actually always drier out west. That's the problem. Oh, you guys can't see what I'm looking at. You're always drier out west. We need to look at departure from normal snowfall. That's what we need to look at. Do they have departure from normal snowfall here? Because that's the really crazy one to look at. Here, I'll show you this. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing, chat. Trust me. Trust me, trust me. There it is. There it is. There's your departure from normal precipitation over the last 30 days. Tough. Tough. That's real tough out there, out west. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if I've ever seen this solid of brown out here. Like, I mean, in anywhere, in any section. I mean, this is just crazy. By the way, this is one of the craziest 30-day temperature and precipitation anomalies I've ever seen. So this is temperature and precipitation departures during the last 30 days, right? So, holy crap. Kentucky, Ohio, Western PA. I mean, look at this. Look at this. Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky especially. Have you guys been a little bit chilly over the last 30 days? I haven't been living there. I'm just asking. Has it been slightly cold in Indiana, Ohio, and Kentucky over the last 30 days? Because it looks like you've been freezing. That's cold. That's cold. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you've been dealing with this. Don't worry. You got a warm-up coming. And look at the last 90 days, too. It's not like you had much. I mean, it's been your entire winter. Crazy. All right, let's do a speed round. I want to answer as many questions as I can. It snowed 3 to 5 inches from New Jersey to Rhode Island. The Euro AI. For the short range, are we talking about? Euro AI, because Euro AI has been good this season. Let's take a look. Oh, shoot. You're right. Our Sunday storm, the Euro AI likes a little bit of snow in New Jersey, maybe even Philly, Long Island, New York City. 1 to 6 inches in that area. Interesting. Ooh, I love the Euro AI for where I live. Let's go, baby. Give me some snow. Put some snow into Minnesota. All right, let's do a speed round. I'm going to answer as many questions as I can. 10-minute timer. Ask whatever you want. One second. All right, I'm setting a timer. 10 minutes. Ask whatever question you want, but remember, if you live in a small city or county I've never heard of, I'm not going to answer you in the speed round because I got to answer as many questions as I can. So tell me, June, I appreciate you. I really appreciate that. Junior Awesome K, I appreciate that. Again, if you live like 30 miles south of a major city, just say 30 miles south of the city. If you live in East Central Kansas, say East Central Kansas instead of like I don't know what's the typical name of a Kansas town, like Twister, Kansas. Like, don't tell me that. You know what I mean? Because I need to answer questions quickly. So just tell me where you live if you live in a small county, or give me geographically where you live in the state. If you live in a small county or a small city, set a timer. Twister, Kansas sounds like a name of a Kansas. It sounds like no, that'd be more like Twister, Oklahoma. All right, let's do 10 minutes. Timer, 10 minutes, and let's get it started.
Speed round initiated.
That's a little loud. Ask away. Yeah, I'm looking. Spring in New York City. Yeah, I think New York City has a very cold first half of March. Could I be wrong? I could be wrong. I've done pretty good this winter, though. That doesn't mean that I couldn't be horribly wrong. 4 hours south of St. Louis. Thanks for that. All right, so we're going to call it like southeastern Missouri. Well, you just named an area. You didn't ask a question, though, June. You have a nice chance here moving in towards next weekend. Like I said, the European puts your Bear Clinic boundary straight through Kansas, Missouri, Indiana, Kentucky, Illinois, Ohio, West Virginia. Could get a snowstorm through there. Something. I don't think you get severe weather yet, but analog's still like colder weather for the end of February and through the beginning of March in that region as well. How much snow in Minnesota this February? I think we're going to end February with a bang in Minnesota, north to south. Minneapolis snow totals next week. Oh God, that's impossible to tell. Don't do that to me. Oh gosh, it could be all. There's like 3 possible snowstorms. All three hit us. We're gonna get 40 inches. One hits us, we're gonna get like 8. We're gonna get, I think, some good snow regardless somewhere here. Next weekend potentially, definitely as we push through the end of February. There's a lot of good chances for Minneapolis. I'm not gonna pretend like I know how much snow is gonna fall 10 days from now. Greatest meteorologist on the planet doesn't know that. Any snow for Cincinnati, Ohio anymore this winter? You're gonna have a cold trend return back to Cincinnati, Ohio. You're gonna have below freezing air that's gonna probably try to sit there for a little bit. You're gonna have a nice little subtropical jet turning on too, because we're moving into an Enzo pretty quickly, and yeah, cold air sinking back into the Ohio Valley. Subtropical jet turning on as we move back into an Enzo neutral towards an El Nino. Yeah, I think you have some nice chances in that area. Taylor Swift song. Oh, hey babe. The one on Folklore. It's by far the best Taylor Swift song. It's not even close. Yeah, 100%. 100%. I'll fight anyone who disagrees. Who's the greatest meteorologist? Jim Cantori. What about South Carolina? South Carolina, you're probably going to be stuck under southeastern ridge. I think Charlotte could get back down to like 25 degrees again before the winter's over. And I think if you're in South Carolina, you may not even see. I don't know. We're going to have a cutoff on cold air. We're going to have a cutoff on cold air. Let me just show you guys. Let's get the map back up, and I'll run something so you guys can look at this while I'm answering questions. It's going to be tough. Could we get another big Arctic blast down to the South Carolina? 100%. Some of the models point at it. I don't know if we're going to make it there. But you look towards the end of the models here. It's a lot of cold air back into South Carolina right there. Towards the end of the run here. The GFS puts a lot of cold air back into South Carolina as well. I don't know. There's going to be a cutoff somewhere down there in southeastern ridge is going to try to stay dominant. Yeah, 100%. Big stuff for New York City? Possibly, yes. Yes. I like the analogs. I like the teleconnections. And I'm never wrong. Okay. He's so great. I use part of his name as an... Wait. Oh, yeah. That's right. Leanne Cantori. That's right. That's right. Please tell me extreme I thought you were going to say New England. Northeast Montana is going to get good snow this week. Probably. I'd say if you're west of Tornado Alley, yeah. Look at this. Most people are going to get really good snow. I mean, man, the model's really trying to actually screw Northeast Montana. They still put a good amount in. Let's look at really quickly. Let's look at Kuchera. Oh my gosh. Snow hole, northeastern Montana. Look at all this snow. Oof. That's tough. What's the GFS see for you? If the GFS sees a snow hole too, I'm sorry. Look at the GFS is very nice to you. Very nice. The Euro's just being mean. I don't know. The Euro's being mean. But if you're talking about extreme northeast Montana, you're going to see snow. I'd say you see no less than 4 inches. But the GFS gives you a chance for some big snow. Big time snow. Southern Oregon. Yeah. Torrential downpours or heavy snow. It depends your elevation. Are you high? It's Oregon. You know what I mean by like everyone's high in Oregon, but elevation wise, are you high? If you're high, snow. If you're low, rainfall. Big snow, New York City this weekend. 12.7% chance to get big snow in New York City this weekend. That's pretty generous, I think. There's still some models that love putting big snow into New York City on Sunday. I'm not quite there yet. In Grants Pass, I think 3,000 feet. Yeah, that might end up being some good snow for you. Yeah. No one got my Oregon joke. Okay. Hi, new friend. What's going on, Elizabeth? How's things looking for us here in Boise, Idaho? Well, it's looking pretty good. Your mountains are going to be absolutely buried in snow potentially as we push through next weekend. Look at this going into the mid next week. Heavy snow through Idaho. It's going to be struggle to get into the valley. It's going to struggle to get into the valley in Boise. I think a dusting to 2 inches into the valley in Boise, but heavy snow for all the surrounding areas. Are we done with the cold weather in Dallas? Man, I hate to say it, but there's just not a pattern here for Dallas. I mean, this would put some cold air potentially down there. You look at the end of the run. Ooh. You look at the end of the run, getting out towards February 27th, February 28th, March 1st. This would be a ton of cold air into Dallas if this came true, but it's the end. This is 360 hours out on an operational run. But if you want something to hold on to, the European thinks that there's another chance for very cold air back into Dallas. Texas, just Texas in general, as we get towards the end of February, transitioning into March, yeah. Philadelphia this weekend. Ask me tomorrow. This is such a hard call for Philly, New Jersey, New York City, Long Island. Oh, my gosh. Yesterday, your surface temperatures were 36 degrees. Today they're 31, 32 degrees, and suddenly it's all snow. Like I said, there's not a warm nose. There's not going to be warm air aloft. I'm not worried about that ruining your snow. I'm worried about the models not agreeing on surface temperatures at 72 hours out. I think you 100% see flakes and mixing in Philadelphia this weekend. 100% see flakes falling and mixing. Little snow and rain. Pure snow accumulation. It's a really tough call right now. There's models that put 15 inches of snow into Philly this weekend, and there's models that put 0. I'm closer to thinking 0. But I fully understand why some of these models put a ton of snow there, because they collapse your surface temperatures another 2 to 3 degrees, which would probably do that. All right. Adrian, I appreciate you. Thank you. Appreciate the follows. Appreciate the subs. You guys are awesome. Love you all. Although, actually, no, I'm just kidding. Listen, to all 4 people who followed me on TikTok, I really appreciate you. Listen, maybe I should start dual streaming YouTube and Twitch. Do you guys know any Twitch weather streamers? Flat as. Okay, I said that out loud before I actually knew what I was saying. I appreciate that. Is North Carolina going to get a storm? North Carolina could see some severe weather as we push into this Sunday, Monday. Look at that. Torrential downpours, at least thunder showers, probably thunderstorms. Sunday into Monday. You guys haven't had that in a while. You guys had 10 inches of snow across the state. Now you're going to get some thunderstorms this weekend. You might actually like that. Sunday into Monday. I got your Oregon joke. No people that shop there. Thanks. If you like watching the live, smash the like. Yes, I agree. Will Appleton, Wisconsin see any more snow this year? I don't know where Appleton, Wisconsin is, but will Wisconsin see more snow this year? North to south Wisconsin, 1,000%. Yes. Every single sector of Wisconsin will likely see more snow this year. Flat tornadoes. Let's watch Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi. Saturday and Sunday. I don't think we're going to get any major. I don't think we're going to get any EF2 plus long track tornadoes, but EF0, EF1 potentially. Maybe an EF2 spin up, but instability is not quite going to be there. The shear will. The shear will be there. She'll be there. New GFS. Is the new GFS loading in? I'll let you look at that. Good call. E-Mixy. I probably said that wrong. New GFS. Right on. There you go. New GFS. Still putting snow into portion, maybe even flakes into DC, Maryland, or DC, Baltimore. Still putting some snow. Northern Virginia, northeastern West Virginia, northern Maryland, southeastern PA, southern New Jersey. Not a crazy amount. Very little amount. I think that's a more reasonable outcome. Still interesting what's happening up here. Big snowstorm for central to northern Minnesota. Ice, ton of rain on the south side of the system. I'm not fully convinced that we won't be cold enough for snow. There you go. It brings in the cold air afterwards. Here you go. Big snowstorm for Minneapolis. Maybe as we get into Wednesday this upcoming week on the back end of this. How much snow does the GFS give us there? This is the latest GFS. Four to 6 inches. And then another big snowstorm right behind it. Oh, wow. Look at the GFS. Here's the latest snowfall expectations from the GFS. I'm telling you, winter's not quite done yet. GFS is still liking. This is what I'm talking about. This is probably that same exact time frame I was talking about when we get that flattened. There it is. Yep. There it is. We get our, as we transition from that negative PNA back into a positive PNA. Here it is, ridging out east, troughing out west. Now we get the troughing back out east. And as that transition begins to happen, there's the troughing back out east. As that transition happens, who asked that question about St. Louis earlier? Man's Live and I joined, and his cab was just straight to the camera. I told you. Whoever asked about St. Louis earlier, you're going to get that Bear Clinic boundary that's going to set up somewhere in the middle of the country, and you'll have a chance. We just talked about this 10 minutes ago. There's the new GFS. There it is. Heavy snow through St. Louis. Is that going to happen? We don't know. 200 plus hours out. Is there a pattern opportunity for it? Of course there is. You go from a negative PNA to a positive PNA. So you have storm track here, and then you're not going to get a storm track like this because snowstorms aren't going to move like that. But then storm track here. I had to take the glasses off for that. Why? Missouri, why are you failing me? Okay. Wait, where did... Whoa. Hold up. Oh, there we are. Lost YouTube for a second. Okay. Temps. Tim, where are you at? What will be the state's best for big tornadoes this year? Listen, the strongest tornadoes have the best chance of forming in the plains, Tornado Alley, even though more form out in Dixie Alley lately. This dry line tornadoes can go crazy. You don't have that same dry line set up in Dixie Alley, but you have a lot more instability in Dixie Alley. So more tornadoes in Dixie Alley, stronger tornadoes in Tornado Alley. It's been that way for a while. It will continue to be that way, especially in an end zone neutral. Big Sky, Montana. Ooh, I've been there. Have a chance for any major snow? Well, I'd say so. Heavy, significant snowstorm trying to move up there early this week. Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe some more Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Yeah, lots of good opportunities there. Look at this. Another big clipper for the Mid-Atlantic. We're getting out towards the end of the run here, but exactly what I'd expect. Around the 23rd, 24th, the latest GFS. There it is. This is what we talked about yesterday. Please. Love it. Love it. Love it. Maryland, but just wondering, what the new GFS shows for the whole country. Yeah, here, let's go into temperature anomalies. We know what's happening here. Warm up. Trying to get a big trough down next Friday into New England. Cold air out west, obviously, but here we go. Here's the transition back. Like I said, this GFS wants it earlier than I've been thinking. 21st, 22nd instead of the 23rd. But look at that big push of cold air as we get into the 23rd and 24th. Fall, spring's gone. Cold air, and I think anyone notice what's happening up here? Cold air pooling. This is getting locked and loaded. Positive PNA. Negative NAO. Negative EPO. Look at the ridging over Alaska. The GFS is right here. If the GFS is right here, this is an absolute bazooka of cold air and snow potential for the Ohio Valley, Southeast, East Coast, Midwest, maybe even the upper Midwest. I think we might be too cold if this pushes through like this, but one big push of winter, end of February, going into early March. Interesting. All right. Nope, not doing it. Sadie said nope, not doing it. Daytona 500 is on Sunday. What's our weather like down there? Sunday actually looks pretty good. Well, No, Sunday evening gets pretty spicy. Sunday evening gets pretty spicy. Sorry, Melanie. Can Western Long Island see any snow anytime soon? There's a small possibility you get a little bit of snow this weekend, Sunday night and Monday morning. But if you don't, end of February looks good for you guys. Going into next weekend, potentially. Why doesn't it snow in Seattle? Sure, I'll explain that. That's why. Here's Seattle. Here's the largest ocean in the world. In the northern hemisphere. In the world. Okay? Ocean, water. Water in general regulates heat. It doesn't allow to regulate your temperatures. It doesn't allow you to get too cold. It doesn't allow you to get too hot. Notice, Minneapolis, Minnesota, south of Seattle. Oh, well, you're south. It should be warmer. You're closer to the equator. Yeah, but we have land west of us. Land cools and heats very quickly. So when it gets in the winter, this land gets very, very cold. So do we. Well, when we get into winter, this water doesn't get very, very, very cold. It slowly gets cold, but it doesn't change much. And because of that, you don't have freezing land to your west. Temperatures are regulated. It is only ever hit 100 degrees in Miami, Florida. One time in history. I think it's one time in history. 100 degrees, Miami, Florida. Subtropical climate. The only subtropical climate. The only major city in a subtropical climate in the United States of America has only ever hit 100 degrees once. Minneapolis, Minnesota, way up here. Hits 100 degrees maybe 10 plus times a summer. So it's hit it thousands of times. Why do we hit 100 degrees thousands of times up here in Minneapolis? But not, why do we hit 100 degrees 1,000 times up here in Minneapolis, but only once down here in Miami? What could it be? That's right. Minneapolis is surrounded by land and Miami is surrounded by water. That's what it is. That's what it is. I mean, a lot of meteorology is ocean currents. It's a lot. There's a lot. It's oceans. Oceans control our weather. Ocean temperatures control our weather. Ocean currents control our weather. If you did see a lot of obnoxious cooling out here, which happens sometimes in the Eastern Pacific, you can get a lot more snow out there in Seattle. You know, that's all it is. You're way likely to hit 100 degrees over something, like 1,000 times more likely to hit 100 degrees in Minneapolis over summer than you are in Miami. It's actually astronomically more likely you get over 100 degrees in Minneapolis than in Miami in a year. All right. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Yep. That's why the East Coast, that's why you have cities like Philadelphia and New York City, Boston that get very cold. All the weather moves from west to east. Everything west to east of them is land. Everything west to east of Seattle's ocean. Is New Jersey getting snow Monday? It's possible you get some flakes. I'm thinking maybe you get a dusting to an inch or two if you're lucky. Even though I know some models put a foot of snow down into New Jersey. I understand. Any hurricanes this winter? No hurricanes this winter. And we're also moving into a El Nino hurricane season, which typically is below average. Below average hurricane season. Then why is it so hot in Tampa or Sarasota? How many times does it hit 100 degrees in Tampa or Sarasota a year? Take a guess. You're probably going to be wrong. How many times do you think? How many times a year does it hit 100 degrees in Tampa, Florida? Let's ask. I'm asking ChatGPT. Tampa reached 100 degrees Fahrenheit for the first time in recorded history, July 27th, 2025. Before that, the highest ever recording in Tampa was 99 degrees. Shocker. Just kidding. Not a surprise. Yeah, it's hit 100 degrees once in Tampa. So, don't know how to answer your question. I'm just kidding. I'm not trying. I'm honestly just having fun with you guys. I'm just having fun with you guys. It's funny. It's an interesting phenomenon. It's an interesting phenomenon. Oceans are crazy. Oceans do weird stuff. They do weird stuff. Give me a second. Who asked that question? Yeah, if you're talking about the feels like, it's like the feels like is over 100 degrees every single day in Miami and Tampa. We're talking about actual temperature. Like what is the actual temperature? What is the real life? What is the real life temperature? It doesn't reach 100 degrees in Tampa. It just doesn't. It did once, ever in history. All right, let me pull this back up. Hold up. Oh, wait. Purple, that was you? Yeah, no. Yeah, the feels like is probably over 100 degrees for like 100 days a year in Tampa. Not the temperature, not the actual temperature. It's not. It's not. It's not. Let's have fun together. Okay. No. Thanks, Miss Penning. Thank you. I will not text you in private. I don't want to have fun together. I don't want to have fun together. Any big snowstorms for Northern Virginia? There's a potential. Yeah, I'd say Northern Virginia is where you want to be if you want another big snowstorm end of February. Going into March. I like this area again. I wouldn't actually circle that big of an area. I like snow chances potentially. Let's do it like that. Back into here. Is winter over for Tennessee? No, you're gonna get freezing air again. You're gonna get freezing air again. Will you get snow? We'll see, but you're gonna get freezing air again. Dance competition March 13th, March 15th, and 27th, 29th. No snow and getting stuck out of state, please. I think it'd be okay. As we get into March, I think it'd be okay. It hit 114 degrees south of Seattle, June 26, 2022. I think was the year all-time record. 114 degrees in Seattle? That's hard for me to believe as well. I'm going to have to fact check. I'm going to have to live fact check you on that. That's hard for me. Maybe you're right. Hottest ever recorded. I'll just say temperature in Seattle if you're just south of Seattle. And if Seattle's even close to that. Hottest temperature ever recorded in Seattle. Because I don't even think Seattle would be even close to that. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I don't know as much about Washington as I do about, let's see. 108 degree reading is the all-time high for Seattle weather records. Okay, well, 108 is way hotter than I thought it would be. Report even higher readings during that heat event of around 118 in nearby areas. That's crazy. So you're probably right. It got up to 118 in nearby areas. That's wild. Especially next to an ocean. That's wild. That's wild. I mean, you get like the valley in LA. I lived in the valley. I lived in North Hollywood, Burbank for a while. And even though we're right next to the ocean, we have mountains that separate the ocean from us. So heat gets trapped in the valley. So you can be next to a big body of water, but if you're in a valley surrounded by mountains, the heat can get trapped. So I'm assuming there was a mountain range to your west, or you were in a valley. The valley areas got that hot because you just don't get that with the ocean flow, with the ocean breeze or the moisture blowing across the kind of flat surface. That's crazy. Nebraska Saturday. What's going on in Nebraska? A little bit of some storms to your south, but you'll be a little bit warm and dry. Nothing crazy going on in Nebraska that day. Yeah, Seattle hit 108. That's crazy. Sadie, what else was I supposed to say? Oh, I guess just ignore. Yeah. Big snow for New York City this weekend. Not likely. Is it possible? Yes, very small chance, but likely. I mean, you could see a little bit of flakes and mixing in New York City. I don't think it's going to be a big event. I know there's like 12 out of 50 members that put a foot of snow down into New York City. I just don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. Don't see it happening. That mini fridge and the way it's organized is so satisfying. Oh, yeah. Well, I don't even think you can see it. It has all the different flavors on top and on the bottom. Why not? I think most of that moisture is going to be to the south of New York City. I'm not fully convinced that we're going to be 29 in New York City either. 29 degrees. I think we could be a little warmer. I think we could be. Any updates on Minneapolis snowstorm? Listen, really nice pattern as we get into next Thursday through Sunday for the upper Midwest. We'll call it next Wednesday to Sunday for the upper Midwest. Watch it. There's going to be snow through the northern plains and upper Midwest. You want to get a good storm track. It's hard to tell where the storm track is going to be, but Bear Clinic boundary setting up from the Rockies up through the upper Midwest. I like the pattern for Minnesota. All right, guys. I'm going to hop off. Should have another video up tomorrow morning. Man, I have to think. I'll try to have another video up tomorrow morning. Stream tomorrow night. I have a busy morning tomorrow morning. 70-30, I'll have another video up tomorrow morning. And I'll be streaming tomorrow. I will be streaming tomorrow night. I appreciate all you. I appreciate all my mods. You guys are the best. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for any follow subs. Thank you for anyone who gifted. Thank you for anyone who's just in here helping my algorithm. I appreciate you guys. Trying to continue to post every day, stream every night. Interesting times ahead for the Rockies. Interesting times ahead. I mean, severe weather for the South, snow for the West, fall, spring for the East, late February, early March. Get ready. I think winter reloads for the Ohio Valley and East. Appreciate all you, and I'll see you tomorrow.